Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Berkowitz!
I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. There were a couple of cats fighting outside my window. You've seen this. One of the cats did the thing where it like turns to the side and it arches its back and it makes its fur stand up on end so it looks bigger. I'm like wondering, how is this effective? You're trying to fake out another cat. Shouldn't it see through the charade there? It's like if I get into a fight, I can't do this. That dude's huge. At first I thought he was tiny, but he's huge. I'm not tackling with that. And then there's they have the nightly turn down service. You know about this? At night, a maid comes into your room and she untucks the corner of the sheets so you can get into bed without incident. I don't need this at home. I'm not at home getting ready to get into bed like, you know. I don't know what to do. It's so confusing. If only there was a tiny Guatemalan woman to come. Show me the magic portal into my covers. And the great thing about being a paleontologist is you can just totally make everything up. It's like, the Floptosaurus subsisted mainly on a diet of berries and roots and was a playful, inquisitive species, as you can tell from this femur. They had leaf blowers on sale at Home Depot. I love the concept behind the leaf blower. It basically says, I'm not going to do any yard work today, I'm just going to move it. It's kind of the yard work equivalent of doing laundry just by opening your window and throwing it out onto the lawn. Honey, I did laundry. Anything else need doing around the house? Dishes? Change the baby? We're good. 2 weeks before Halloween, I ran my first half marathon. I love the half marathon because it's one of the few things you can do halfway that still sounds cool. Ordinarily when you do something halfway, you're just a lame quitter. Like, well, next month I'm going to take a half trip to Europe. We're just going to crash into the Atlantic. I'm really looking forward to it. Or, yeah, I really went on a hot half date last night. It's just me. I got halfway to first base with myself. Sure the answers to that. But then the rules all went out the window on Halloween night. The rule on Halloween night in our family was you could have as much candy as you wanted to, which, yeah, when you're a kid, that amount of candy is all of it. Because when you're 5, you've only been able to tell time for like 6 months. The whole concept of tomorrow is a little bit theoretical. It'd be like just slamming Snickers and Three Musketeers into my mouth like the rapture is coming. My dad's like, you want to wait for tomorrow? And I'm like, hey, don't you be pushing your crazy theories about the future on me. Now, have you ever taken up an activity just so you can buy the cool gear that goes with it? Yeah, and it turns out that the worse you are at the activity, the more expensive and fancy the gear you have to have, and vice versa. So like the guy on my hockey team who played hockey in college, his stick is just like a branch that fell off a tree. It's got something written on the side in Canadian. And my hockey stick is actually made out of Kevlar and I think unicorn hair. I go to sit down on the bench and I realize a serious problem, which is that in getting dressed standing up, I had somehow managed to put on my compression shorts with my protective cup backwards. So I can't even sit down because it's like jammed in here and I'm kind of high-centered on it. So lots of protection for the Gladys Knight, none for the Pips. So I figure I gotta take care of this somehow, so I'm gonna go to the locker room. I look up into the stands, my girlfriend is there, she blows me a kiss, and I feel like I've gotta explain the situation to her, so I kinda do one of these things. Which she takes in the worst possible way. She's like shaking her head, and I point to the locker room, and she's like, no, not at all. So I get to the locker room. I have to take off my skates, my shin pads, my socks, my pants, my compression shorts. I'm completely naked from the waist down at this point. On the top, I still got the yellow jersey, the shoulder pads, the helmet. I basically look like SpongeBob No Pants at this point. The door opens at this moment while I'm trying to find my compression shorts, and in walks Emily, who's the 16-year-old girl whose job is to check for contraband beer in the locker room. And all I can think of to say at that point is, there's no beer in here. Ignoring this problem completely. But I'm wearing a mouth guard and a face mask, so it comes out as... She sees this giant half-naked yellow thing coming towards her, making strange sounds. She backs out of there slowly. I don't know, I think she ran to the snack bar to get some red vines to gouge her eyes out. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.